For more on the Syrian conflict, we're now joined by Gulnur Aybet. She's the director of the Centre for Security Studies at Bahçeşehir University in Istanbul. Thank you very much for your time. Good to see you. So how vulnerable do you think the cessation of hostilities in Syria is right now?
Between the YPG and the government forces, yeah, it is quite vulnerable. But I think, it'll hold out for a while, I think, as long as the YPG have been able to capture some strategic locations in the Qamishli area. But, this is not something new. I mean, there have been clashes between the YPG and government forces going on in that same area since 2013.
Has it intensified recently?
It has intensified recently, but it has been going on and off. I mean, from 2013 onwards, the YPG moved in to expel government forces from oil-rich areas in Hasakeh. And then the clashes continued until July 2015, when the YPG asked for a ceasefire and collaboration, actually, beyond the ceasefire, collaboration with the Syrian government, if the Syrian government agreed to some kind of decentralization. And then in December 2015, the Assad regime actually acknowledged that they had been arming the PYD. So there has been collaboration between them, and they have fought together against ISIS in the same area. But then the YPG started another assault in the area, and the clashes have been, it's very difficult to pinpoint who started it and what, because these clashes have been sporadically going on for a number of years. I believe there was some more intense fighting in March. And the PYD, together with the Asayish, which is another Kurdish force linked to the PYD in the area, they launched an offensive against government forces near Qamishli. And then in April, as you know now, the fighting has intensified, and the YPG have actually secured some locations there. And I believe for that reason it'll hold for a while. But
so why has the truce been announced now, do you think? I mean, the YPG, from what you're saying, will have had the upper hand militarily.
Yes,
Could they have progressed and taken more territory? What is it in both sides' interest for the truce?
It's probably
now?
in both sides' interest to have some kind of a truce for the time being, because the situation on the ground is very fluid, as you know. So obviously it's not just the Qamishli area. A lot is happening in lots of other areas. And the Russian intervention obviously has changed and altered the situation on the ground quite considerably. So we can say that it's, that the situation on the ground is quite fluid, and therefore, there's a truce in one area, and then forces tend to focus their attention to other areas as well.
Okay, Gulnur Aybet, thank you very much for your time.